no. I have Korean friends. I have Chinese friends. I
Oh,
have Polish
wow.
friends. I have Polish friends. Um, I have Jamaican friends. I have
Mm-hmm.
Somalian friends. I have oh yes, because this is I'm Italian. I was Italian. My friend
Mm-hmm.
used to call me spaghetti guy, spaghetti guy. I mean, but but again, they loved to come to my house and eat my mother's spaghetti. But they
Mm-hmm.
said that as a joke because people get along. People get along in France.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful country. And every year, again this year they said they chose Canada as the best place to live in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Education level is very high. There's not much crime really. You can live well. You live well in Canada. My parents came to Canada with nothing. By the time they died, they had three houses, and they were coming to Europe every year since 1971 for 5, 6 months for vacation. And they raised
So suddenly, yeah,
and they
I'm
raised
eager to
children.
go to the Canada suddenly.
There you go. Work on your English. There's always possibilities. But of course now because of coronavirus, everything
Hmm.
is on
Yeah.
hold. But once things settle down. But if you're really, really interested, Ellie, go to the Government of Canada website. Go often, okay?
Uh-huh.
Because
Yes.
you have federal government that is in charge of immigration. But
Mm-hmm.
every province is allowed to have their own programs. So let's say Vancouver, British Columbia, that's one province.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this week they're looking for teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, maybe they're looking for carpenters.
Uh-huh.
A week
Carpenter.
later, they're not looking for carpenters anymore. Now they're looking for electricians. Now in
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, at the same time, they're not looking for electricians. They're looking for IT people. So and
Mm-hmm.
it changes all the time. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I tell my students that are interested in going to Canada that go to the website regularly. Don't go every 2, 3 months because you might miss
Mm-hmm.
something. You might miss when they're changing something that you can. So go once, maybe twice a week and check.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing changes, but you don't want to miss that maybe something changed and you had a chance to go and move or to go and study there. So Government of
Mm-hmm.
Canada and immigration site, yes. Do you belong to Facebook, Ellie? Do you belong to Facebook?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. But I don't use
Okay.
often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to suggest that, and I suggest this to many
Mm-hmm.
of my students,
Mm-hmm.
you go and on Facebook and look for Korean groups. Korean
Uh-huh.
groups in Toronto, Korean groups in Ontario, Korean groups in Vancouver,
Uh-huh.
groups in Canada.
Yeah.
Join those groups and message them. Say, hi, I'm Ellie. I have two sons. I live in Korea. I was thinking of coming to
Mm-hmm.
Canada. Where are the nice places to live? How is it for work?
Mm-hmm.
They have been through the same thing that you have been possibly. They immigrated as well, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to help you as best as they can. Or just do a Google search. Korean
Yeah.
groups, Korean organizations, Korean. Message them, ask them questions. How expensive
Mm-hmm.
are houses? Is there a lot of work, jobs for this type of thing to do with how's the best way for me to come to? They're going to help you. They're going to help you because they've been through what you've been through. They're going to give you
Yeah.
recommendations. They're going to give you suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give you a lot of help. I do that. I suggest that to many of my students, and they all learn a lot that way. It's a good
Yeah.
recommendation. You should try it.
Yeah.
Facebook.
That's the best way. That's the best way.
Because if I'm Italian and I'm in an Italian group, let's say in Canada, and somebody from Italy
Mm-hmm.
messages and says, yes, I want to come to Canada. I'm going to say, my brother from Italy. Yes, I'm going to help you. What do you want to know? And I'm going to help them. Just like maybe somebody had helped me a few years ago. I'm going to pay it back. I'm going to help somebody else now. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I suggest that you do. And you go to the Government of Canada website often. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, if you want to go to Canada, you have to do a test to show how your
Yeah.
English test, IELTS. Have you?
I think that would be difficult for me.
No, not at all. Well, Ellie, the thing is this: you have to be prepared. And here
Mm-hmm.
on Cap, see, I'm here to help people with speaking, but I can help with
Yes.
other things because I worked in government. I took a lot of different courses. I can help with job
Mm-hmm.
interviews. I can help with broadcasting, website, all sorts of things. But I am not one of those exam specialists. It's called
Mm-hmm.
IELTS.
Mm-hmm. I heard about it.
Okay, IELTS. Okay, IELTS.
IELTS.
Okay.
Yeah. IELTS interview. I
Yes.
have seen a lot.
And so there are many teachers here are specialists in that can really, really help people. So I would suggest do a search when you sign on to Cambly, do a search, just do IELTS specialist. Maybe you can find some that are in Canada. And even if you just spend 15 minutes talking to them, they can tell you this is what you need to do. This is what, and they can give you lots of direction. Very helpful. Very, very helpful. Uh-oh.
Yes.
I'm having problems with batteries today. My mouse battery died. So I had to find some batteries, and I have batteries now, so I'm ready to go. That's my luck. So your boys are good. Your children would love Canada. There's so much to do,
Yes, I consider because they are. I think they like Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
their education system is very very good, and almost Korean students have lots of class, and we have Korean children have to learn stuff. Have to learn lots of subjects in school and academy. So Korean children haven't played in on the ground.
Right.
On the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they're poor children. So sometimes I'm consider other country. Yeah.
Well, my parents they left their families behind to go to Canada to make a better life for themselves and for their family.
Yes.
My mother and father met in Canada, and then they got there, and then they had children. And of course, they went to Canada not only hoping that they were going to have a better life for themselves, but hoping that one day if they had children, their children would have a better life than they did from where they came from. So, and they did, and of course, then I hope that I am able to give my, it's passed on. And something that I, have learned here on Cambly is that Korean families, Chinese families, Chinese culture, Korean culture, and even Saudi Arabian and Turkish culture are very similar to Italian culture because respect is very important in the Korean family. Same thing in Italian family. Extended family. So you have your husband, you have your wife, you have your children, then you have the grandmother, the grandparents that live together. Yes, it's the same in Italian families as well. Yes.
Wow.
Grandmothers live with their children. Yes, and they help raise the children, and it's called an extended family. But a lot of other cultures don't do that. Soon as a child is old enough, go on your way. Right? But
Yeah.
Italian cultures, Korean culture, Chinese, it's different. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned that. I've learned that it's very similar to Italian culture. Yeah. So you want the
Uh-huh.
best for your children. It's just the nature. It's nature. It's the way it is. You want
Mm-hmm.
best for your children, and your children are then going to want better for their children, and so on and so forth. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad that we had a chance to see each other again and to speak. Your English is good, Ellie, but again, if you're wanting to do that test, I'm not a specialist. You should find a specialist here on Cambly. They are so helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many students that have gone,
Yeah.
learned a lot about, because if you're going to do that IELTS exam, it's expensive. Okay. You don't want to have to
Mm-hmm.
fail and do it again and do it again. It's a lot of money. You have to keep paying, right? So you want to
Yes.
prepare and know that you are going to prepare it and you're going to do it and get the marks you need the first time. Okay.
Yeah, I heard about it. IELTS test cost is so expensive, right? In Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So an IELTS specialist will say to you, okay, Ellie, maybe they'll ask you some questions. I don't know what they do. And they'll say, okay, well, I've spoken to you, Ellie, I think you need to improve your listening skills. You need to improve. And then they can give you
Mm-hmm.
suggestions and they can even train you. They're very, 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 very good. And then, of
Mm-hmm.
course, many of my students would come back to me for the speaking.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I suggest. Do a search on the profile, and maybe even look for IELTS specialist, from Canada,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
right? Yeah, you just
Yeah.
IELTS. So do keywords. When you do a Google search, you write in keywords.
Mm-hmm.
So you just do IELTS Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to
Okay,
get
I will do that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. And then you can choose who you like, and then you look at their profiles, and then if you think you're going to feel comfortable with that person, maybe
Yeah.
you prefer bald teachers, maybe you prefer teachers with mustaches, or you decide, and then set up
Mm-hmm.
and look at their schedules. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
here's a tip. If the teachers have
Mm-hmm.
schedule and they have lots of reservations, then that's a good teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good IELTS
Ah,
teacher, right? Yeah.
yes.
So there you go. There you go. Now it's
Okay.
late there. It's past 12 o'clock now, right? It's past 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. So we have like a couple of minutes left. Like I said, okay, Government of Canada website. Go regularly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Facebook and Google. Do a search. Join some Korean groups,
Mm-hmm.
organizations in Canada. Once you become a member,
Mm-hmm.
ask them questions, as many questions that you need, and to get all the information you need to. Then again, as I said, do a search on Cambly here for IELTS teachers, specialists. Maybe some that are in Canada. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's going to help you as well. That's really going to,
Yeah.
yeah.
I, I think you have lots of resources. So when I meet you, oh, I'm surprised every time.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, again, I did a lot of different things. I worked in government. I took a lot of different courses in between contracts, and I can do websites. I can do this. Did broadcasting. So it helped me.
Mhm.
It helped me to get the next contract and another job and another job, and work for different politicians. And yeah, and I enjoyed it too. You enjoy increasing your knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I will
Ellie,
do this.
let's talk again soon. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, get some rest. Keep smiling. I love your hair. You look great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.